Supply Management and Logistics, Principles of Supply Chain Management, Chapters 2 and 3. We start our discussion with purchasing and supply management. In this chapter, you will understand purchasing, procurement, and the role of supply management and its strategic impact. You will also cover manual purchasing, e-procurement, and green purchasing. We will discuss the differences between single sourcing and multiple sourcing. You will understand the impact of globalization and use criteria beyond price when selecting suppliers. Purchasing involves obtaining needed materials in exchange for money. Merchant buyers purchase items for resale, while industrial buyers purchase components and subassemblies for conversion into products. They also buy capital equipment, services, and MRO supplies. MRO stands for Maintenance, Repair, and Operating Supplies. MRO items are not part of the end product, but are necessary to operate. Consider office supplies and equipment maintenance tools. Some definitions. Purchasing is the acquisition of materials, service, and equipment. Contracting is the acquisition of services. The broader term of supply management encompasses all acquisition activities. The primary goal of purchasing is the uninterrupted flow of materials that meet quality and customer satisfaction goals at the lowest total cost. To meet these goals, purchasing seeks top quality materials, reliable suppliers. Purchasing staff may work with suppliers in product development to ensure alignment between product specifications and supplier capabilities. Purchasing has a direct financial impact on the organization. Product cost savings go directly to the bottom line. Return on assets and inventory turnover are financial metrics directly affected by pricing and delivery schedules negotiated with suppliers by purchasing. Manual purchasing follows a three-step process. We start with the need for material in the form of a purchase requisition. This is an internal document stating what is needed, the quantity, and delivery date. Next, the buyer will send a request for quotation, or RFQ, to potential suppliers. Complex products may require a request for proposal. The supplier responds with a bid identifying the item, quantity, delivery date, cost, and any other conditions. If acceptable, the buyer issues a purchase order to the supplier, which is a binding contract to provide the items. Here is a detailed process diagram for manual purchasing. We start in the upper right with materials requisition. If material is not available internally, after the RFQ process, a purchase order is issued to the supplier. After delivery of the material, the supplier will issue an invoice for payment. Supplier payment completes the process. The e-procurement process mimics the manual process but takes advantage of e-commerce and automated systems to speed the process. This approach also results in fewer errors in communication between the parties. This type of system is often referred to as a business-to-business or B2B system. With the availability of the Internet, B2B systems are accessible to interested suppliers. Here is a flowchart of the e-procurement process. At a high level, the steps are similar to the manual process. The difference is the use of computerized tools that speed communication and ensure quality and traceability. In this case, the need for materials starts at the upper left and flows from left to right. You can see that all documents and orders are managed electronically. This is especially advantageous when working globally across different time zones. E-procurement has many advantages. Both the originating company and the supplier benefit from time and cost savings, accuracy, and traceability. One feature is that many systems can be accessed using a mobile device, adding to the productivity of the team. One of the important decisions of sourcing is make versus buy. Will the item be manufactured internally or sourced externally? External procurement is outsourcing. Integration is the opposite of outsourcing, where a company will acquire other companies and bring processes that were formerly done outside to within the company. Backward vertical integration acquires suppliers, while forward integration acquires distributors facing the ultimate customer. These decisions must be in alignment with the overall mission and strategy of the company. We must take care not to dilute our core competencies. Reasons for outsourcing include cost reduction, capacity shortages, and engaging suppliers with improved skills who can produce a better product. Conversely, there are reasons not to outsource, including the need to protect trade secrets, lack of a competent supplier, better control, reduced transportation, and lower cost. If the outsourced partner has less skill and costs more, what is the point of going through the exercise? The supply base consists of the suppliers that a firm does business with. The goal is a long-term partnership that benefits the company and the supplier. It is better to have a few excellent suppliers than many adequate suppliers. To support this strategy, early supplier involvement is typical. This means that we partner with suppliers regarding overall strategy, new product development, and new processes. The advantage is that we have shared knowledge, resulting in an optimized process with alignment with key suppliers. Top quality, flexibility, and cost efficiency result from this partnership. Since we are interested in a long-term relationship, supplier selection is critical. Many of the criteria used for supplier selection are listed here. In addition to early supplier involvement, total cost of acquisition is considered in the decision. This approach looks at the total cost, not just the procurement cost of the item. This may include development cost and the value of shared technology and improved cycle time. Obviously, location is important, as it will be easier to have a stronger relationship if the supplier is more accessible. Since a strong supplier partnership has so many advantages, are there risks associated with single sourcing key components? These points show some of the pros and cons. We have discussed many of the advantages, but the downside includes a lack of flexibility and the difficulty of bringing a new supplier up to speed. Plus, there is the risk that a key supplier may understand your processes too well and go into business as a competitor. Another strategy to consider is whether the purchasing team should be centralized. A centralized team would make buying decisions across the corporation. A decentralized team might be localized at the division or even the plant level. There are different reasons to choose one strategy over the other. The difference is generally cost versus agility and specialization. Oftentimes the result is to create a hybrid organization where commodity items are centralized to reduce cost and specialty items are handled locally or decentralized. Globalization of purchasing offers many advantages but poses some risks. Global partnerships can offer quality, cost, and delivery opportunities. Many customers look for local content in their purchase. This is an opportunity for a U.S.-based company to add international content if needed. Challenges include logistics, language, and currency issues. Political risk is also common. These issues may be addressed by contracting with local brokers, merchants, and trading companies who understand the local environment. Tariffs and currency valuation variability can also present a barrier. Selling products to the federal government, while lucrative, has its own challenges. Specific guidelines are in place regarding supplier acquisition and bidding. These rules are in place to ensure that the government is paying fair prices, but can add bureaucracy to the process. Competitive bidding, along with sealed bids, is used. Bonds are often required to ensure that a supplier meets their commitments. Next, we will discuss the creation and maintenance of supplier relationships. In this chapter, you will understand supplier partnerships, including formalizing supplier evaluation and recognition. Finally, we will discuss supplier relationship management, which encompasses all aspects of supplier partnerships. For the overall success of the supply chain, strong supplier relationships are necessary, especially for critical components. The goal of any partnership is a win-win outcome. If only one side wins, that's not a sustainable situation. It is important that the business entities involved share a common strategy and general business philosophy. Risk and rewards are shared with the goal of serving the ultimate customer. As part of the win-win strategy, trust must exist between the organizations. The problem with trust is that it takes time to build, but can be damaged quickly. Trust is easier to build if the organizations share a common strategy and view of the business. Trust and relationships are built between people, not organizations. The face-to-face interaction between the representatives of the two companies is essential. The two companies will succeed in the partnership if they have common needs and share the risks and rewards. The purchasing team has to be supported by upper management. If not, the requisite long-term decisions will not be supported and are likely to change. When change comes, for any reason, both sides of the relationship must manage the change process. Information sharing and security are important for the relationship to thrive. Schedules, forecasts, and payments are necessary operationally, while product marketing plans are important in the long term. The plans must be kept confidential. Both companies must treat the data of the other with the care that they would treat their own plans. Trust comes in here. Operationally, the supplier must have the capacity to meet their operational commitments. If not, they risk the success of both organizations, especially with just-in-time agreements. Just like any other business process, partnerships require metrics. Data must be openly shared between partners, including quality, cost, and cycle time. The goal is to use the data to understand the existing process and identify opportunities for improvement. Agreements with suppliers need to include all relevant metrics, including total cost of ownership. Both sides of the relationship must seek ways to continuously improve the shared operation and take advantage of evolving technologies. By working together, they continue to strengthen their relationship and mutual success. With the importance of the supplier relationship, selecting the right suppliers is very important. A solid process for supplier evaluation and certification must be developed. Detailed facts and metrics must be collected as part of the evaluation process. The development of the supplier evaluation process may include feedback from suppliers. One way to normalize the selection process is through the use of supplier certification. Industry standard certification programs are available for many business processes. The advantage is that a certified company has been evaluated by an independent third party for adherence to certain quality and performance criteria. This saves the primary company time and cost when selecting suppliers. Some typical certification criteria are listed here. Note that the criteria offer a balanced view, including quality, delivery, and capability. Certification includes an overview of the processes and systems in place to support their capabilities. Supplier evaluation often uses a weighted criteria method similar to what we have seen in other database decisions previously in the class. The goal is to select criteria, list them by importance, and gather metrics on performance of each of the criteria. The weighted scoring must add up to a prescribed level to achieve certification. After the review, regular updates are scheduled to ensure long-term compliance. Here's an example of such a weighted scoring process. The criteria on the left with rating and weighting down the middle. Quality results have the highest impact. In this case, the supplier received a total weighted score of 88.25%. The International Organization for Standardization, or ISO, has developed a number of certifications. These certifications recognize performance with international recognition. ISO 9000 certifies management and quality for product design, creation, manufacture, installation, and service. Similarly, ISO 14000 does the same for environmental management. These certifications can enhance a company's ability to attract major contracts and join into business partnerships. Supplier development is used to improve a supplier's performance. This may be needed in response to an issue or to develop new capabilities. The goal is to work with key suppliers to improve key metrics for the partnership. Teams of employees from both companies will share information and work together to create and implement improvement plans. Once implemented, processes are monitored to ensure continued success. Finally, at the end of the day, when work is done, recognition may be called for. Success should be celebrated. Recognition serves to build the relationship and provide an incentive for other suppliers.